Hello everyone, GL1 here, and today I've amassed my collection of Jeagers for you. It's not all the Jeagers that have ever come out, but it is most of them. And I'm going to start with Pacific Rim 1. And the first one I'm going to tell you about is Gypsy Danger, and that is the main protagonist of the movie. And this one is from the scene where he is fighting the leatherback kaiju, which looks like a gorilla, and that snake or eel-like looking one. And if you don't remember or haven't seen that scene, this is the leatherback from the show yesterday. This is that leatherback kaiju, and you can see the difference in size. You know, the kaiju is much more massive, but these Jeagers have some excellent weapons on them. They, have weapons that and with energy blasts, and they have even a sword, like a chain link sword that comes out. Now this Jaeger comes with some extra hands as well. So, but pretty neat, with those finger holes, from it grasping onto the ship and using that as a bat against the kaiju. So this is that Jaeger. You can see all the details on it. They put a lot of detail into this, and these are the 7-inch figures made by NECA. So they're based NECA. So this is a NECA figure. There's actually 3 companies that made these. Now this is the first Gypsy Danger that I purchased, and I've modified this. As you can see, I painted all this silver on here, and I bought several of Gypsy Dangers, so I thought, well, I might as well just have fun painting it. So I painted this like a shinier gold inside, and then I gave him a red visor. You could see I painted some black on there. And then this here, this is the chain link sword that I gave him. This piece, my wife gave me, actually goes to a girdle. So a girdle is a device that it comes with some dresses, or if you want to dress to fit better, it cinches around your waist, and it has these metal bands in there that help it maintain its strength. And she gave me a whole bunch of them, and it's like a flexible piece of steel that's very much like the chain sword. I'll show you as that goes on, but yeah, you can see again, I painted all around there. So, and painted the feet. All right, so that's that Gypsy Danger, and then I'm going to show you another one. Now this one is the damaged Gypsy Danger. By the way, the one I custom painted, you can still get that for $25. Now this one is the battle damaged one, and you can see it's got, just dirt all over it, like fire scarring, and this is that chain sword. So you can see that the girdle piece and the chain sword are similar, but it's just the same basic mold, just with a different paint job. And this one is, you can still get it, but it's $127. So, and then it has a second chain, so they just lock up inside the wrist there. You see there's a little thin slit in there, and then this fits right in there, and you just press that in, and it stays pretty well. If you play with it though, it's, they're going to fall off. But yep, this is got good articulation. You have ankle articulation. Some of them even have their feet that move, like the toes. Not this one though. But you don't have a lot of hip articulation. But you do have your ball joint for your torso twist. And they're stiff in the shoulders, but they'll move around. And this one doesn't have double elbows, some do. And they have the wrists that turn, and even they have a joint to go back and forth. Well, there you go. See, that's what happens with those swords. All right, so that's, and he dropped the other one. See what I mean? No, all right, now he doesn't have any swords. Okay, and next I'm going to show you is Gypsy Danger Ultimate Edition. And there you go. I saved part of the box top for that. That's also NECA. Now, this is, you know, I found some places where it's from Pacific Rim 2 and some where it's Pacific Rim 1. I think it is 1. This is $200 to get again now. So, all right, so this one has like a chest blast that you can attach. And what's nice is it has a clear plastic in there. And you have your energy blast arm, but you actually can install another energy blast arm here. So you can have 2 energy blast arms or just swap it out. And then it has a fist arm. And then I put on one of those metal swords that I use. And that actually just fits right in there better. I didn't have to put any plastic bungees on it. And then it comes with the regular, his chain sword. Okay. And it comes with extra hands. So like, you know, kind of claw hands. Right. So there you go. That's what you get for $200. Other than that, it's the same mold, a little bit shinier paint, but nice and clean looking. Okay, and then there's a little divot here that fits over a protrusion on this, so you can lock that in. All right, so hopefully we can get him to stay. All right, so that is the Gypsy Dangers that I have. And you can see in the background, just to scale those to the various kaiju that we saw yesterday. All right, now another one that's really neat is the NECA Striker Eureka. So all of those that we've seen so far, these are all NECA figures. So you could still get this for $25. And this is the first edition that came out. And it has these blades that fold backwards, but they also come right off, and that's a good and bad thing. It's easy to move them, easy to remove them, but also easy to lose them. So how I've managed to keep these around for nearly 10 years and not lose any surprises even me. Although, you know, if you watch my shows, I'm really good at keeping things together, but this has been on a shelf and it hasn't fallen off, and I didn't like lose it by missing it. So that's Striker Eureka. But then I have the Ultimate Striker Eureka, and I'm going to show you why it's the ultimate. So, well, first of all, the paint job's more detailed, and you can even see there's details in the thighs that are not on the basic one, Series 1. The knees, you know, have a different paint. And then you just basically have this like yellowish paint accents on the fists and the arms and the body. But you also have this, his chest opens up. In the movie, his chest opens up and it's got these big blasters like missile launchers. And this can come out. You see, it fits in like that. And then it comes with the replaceable piece. So you can push that in, and then it largely looks like the other one, just with more detail. You have all the panels in there, but I always keep it with this one on because I already have one like the other. And this is also what's neat is it has the same blades, but you'll see it has the gold in there, which is a little bit more significant in size than the other. And you can see all the paint differences. See on the arms, got the blue accent. But this also has an additional jet power on Eureka. So now this is that's a symbol for nuclear, and this actually can come off, and you can add more flight power to it, and that pushes in there. And also these come off, and they have a little bit of a tracking inside so that you don't put them on the wrong one. So you see how it's cut away up at the top here. There's a little cutaway, and then there's an extension of the plastic right there. So that way you don't put the wrong one on the wrong side, and you get the proper angle. You see this one has a different set. It has this protrusion here inside there, and then this cutaway, and then that fits in there. Okay, so that's your Ultimate Edition. It also came with some rockets that I know I have them somewhere. I try to keep everything together, and I did a pretty good job with this, but looks like this didn't make the cut. So when I started gathering everything together, I didn't gather this at the same time, and I put these 3 missiles somewhere else. But they come with it, and I know I've seen them. They're somewhere. But this is also $200. So if you were to try to get that, again, it's expensive. All right. So we're going to move on to one of my favorites is Crimson Typhoon. This is the Chinese Jaeger, and this is also from Pacific Rim 1. All of these are 3 arms, and I don't know why they just didn't give it 4 arms, but it's got this arm with like a super powerful blaster weapon, and then these all can shoot some kind of energy beam. And if you've ever seen this before somewhere else, it doesn't have this green paint. This is not red, and the orangey red in here is also not normally there. I painted that. And why I do that is because I don't ever intend to sell these. So I get them because I want to play with them and look at them. So here I even painted it inside there. So I just figure, it needs something. I can make it look better, in my opinion. So I just paint it. So, a lot of people are into keeping things mint, but you have to ask yourself, am I going to keep it? Is my intention to keep it forever? Because I don't buy things so that I can sell them for the most part. I've done very little of that. I collect things because I want this online toy museum. So I'm here to enjoy them and show them. Show things that you may have never seen, or it just gets to a point, apparently, where things cost so much, it's just prohibitive to ever getting these things. So it's nice to be able to show you. What I like about this is it has like the T-Rex legs or bird legs. They bend backwards, which again is better for jumping. It has little rockets here on the back too, and I painted inside there as well. A little bit of orange in there. So this is just a really nicely articulated figure, and I think really devastatingly powerful against those kaiju. I think they know what hit them with that guy. So that's Crimson Typhoon. All right, now we're going to move on to Pacific Rim 2, and we have Bracer Phoenix. Now these are made by Tamashi Nations, and this is $40. And these are on a smaller scale. They also come apart easily. So they have little ball joints in there, but they do fall apart rather easily, but they have greater articulation than any of them. So a lot of ankle movement, double knees, a lot of hip motion, and even, you can see, even it has, this piece moves laterally as a separate piece. It has a separate ball joint right in there. Right, and then it has these weapons here that come off. There's a little covering for that, and again, that didn't make the cut into my organizing the pieces, so I don't know where that is right now. And this comes off too, so there must be something for that too. But you know what? I'm only going to play with it with its extra guns on it. But you see it has rocket launchers here. And they also have a really nice articulated head. The other ones you can turn the heads, but they're harder to turn. These turn really easily, and they move back and forth. So they go like, you can, like a duck or like a chicken, bobbing its head forward, like doing the Egyptian dance, walk like an Egyptian. But they also move sideways. All right, and then we have over here Titan Redeemer. You can get this for $36, also Tamashi Nations. And this one comes with a hand, so you have a fist here, and you can put on an open hand, and then you have this giant mace, and it spins in the movie, big spinning mace. And again, you get that same great articulation, and the head moves all around looks kind of like a praying mantis, but he can dance his head, right? Like do, you know. And it's got excellent torso joint, you know, just really easy to maneuver around. Tamashi Nations makes great figures. They make other figures too that I've seen. They're all really nice. And look, you can see like the hydraulics detail in there, which is pretty cool. Similar to Optimus Primal, the gorilla. Although that has the hydraulics that actually move in and out like it's a separate pieces. All right, so Gypsy Avenger. So they remade Gypsy Danger, made him more powerful, and now Tamashi Nations, you can get this for $200. So yeah, a lot more, but you can see a lot more articulation. Look at how that shoulder can move over. You have the blaster is more detailed, and it's like a clear plastic. You have again the clear plastic here, but you have another you know, I don't know, opening there that isn't on. You see the original Gypsy Danger is bigger. You know, this is the 7-inch scale, and this is a 6-inch scale. And you can see that the blade for the sword, the chain sword, is actually on the inside of the arm, not on the outside this time. And you can change it. You can put on this arm on this side and this arm on the other side. Actually, no, that goes on that side. But what you could do is you could take off the fist and you can put the hand on instead. So the sword, though, does not come off. That's permanently out. But you can see it's got the double jointed elbows, and you even have the bicep joint up in there, and a little bit different on the back. You see how you have your neck shield here, and you have these shoulder shields on the NECA version. You don't have that on the Tamashi Nations. But again, you got that, you know, excellent head motion and double jointed knees and lots of hip articulation. All right, and then we're moving to Diamond Select. And so this is Marvel Diamond Select. This is Obsidian. This is Obsidian Fury from the second movie, of course. Now this you can get for $50, and this is a Jaeger Kaiju hybrid. So what they thought in their infinite wisdom is, let's take a Kaiju brain and let's make a hybrid with our robot. Well, what do you think happened? It turned evil. It was manipulating us. And it actually was probably bad all along. Got infected, you know, they said infected by the Kaiju intelligence, but it probably, you know, was open to that all along. You don't get something for nothing. So so this one became a second antagonist in the movie. It's got these really, really sharp claws and for tearing away metal, and actually it can tear away your skin. It's actually really sharp. You don't have quite the articulation as the Tamashi Nations, but good torso articulation, pretty good head, and they're tall, they're big. So these are like an 8 or 9-inch scale figure. So see that next to a 7-inch, a lot larger. And we also have Gypsy Avenger, and this you can get for $55 from Diamond Select. And all right, so you can see it's the same scale. All right, and just like the Tamashi Nations, you have the second, you know, like blaster area or nuclear power plant evidence right there. Now, here's what happened with this. This had it had these shoulder protection pieces that snapped on, and I lost one, and I cannot find it. So I went to a transformer that wasn't using these extra guns here, and I said, you know what? They'll fit on those ball joints. So I gave it these guns. Now you could still, you might be able to find this at Walgreens, because Walgreens was selling these for about $20. So you can see the ball joint in there. But here, take a look at this next to Tamashi Nations. So you can see the big scale difference, and the coloring is different. But they're both, really nice. And you don't get any of the extra pieces with these, like as far as blasters, you can't change the arm, you don't get the sword. But, if you have some extra transformer blasting pieces around, you can add this. And then finally, I just wanted to show you the Batman the Rookie. If you've seen this, it just looks like a Jaeger, doesn't it? So I just thought, that's kind of a neat comparison. So if you have this, it scales with these, right? I think you can play with it with that. Maybe it scales with this a little bit better. I don't know. Pretend this is Batman inside a giant, like a mech suit, and he's ready to take out some kaiju. I definitely think he could. So anyway, that's the Jaeger collection. Thanks for watching, and take care. Talk to you soon.